We have testimonies from several pilots saying that no curvature can be seen at commercial airline heights. It has been suggested that airplane windows serve to distort the view of passengers and make them believe they see curvature when indeed there is none, the website read. If our planet was a giant spinning sphere, the oceans of water would be flowing down to level and covering land, with some rivers also impossibly flowing uphill because the natural physics of water is to find and maintain its level. There are a plethora of resources available that show us we can't trust the photographic evidence from organizations such as NASA. Some of the evidence that these should be discounted include constant changes in their depiction of the Earth, inconsistent lighting and moon footage, and other irregularities. Our planet's sky is surrounded by a huge dome that holds in the air and protects us, with the Bible even mentioning a firmament in which the sun and moon were placed. Genesis 1:14-19. The sun is actually much smaller and closer to Earth than we have been taught. Day and night cycle is explained by the fact that the sun and moon are spheres measuring 51 kilometers that move in circles 4,828 kilometers above the plane of the planet, a shift from scientific consensus, which states that the sun is 149.6 million kilometers from Earth. The sun moves in circles around the North Pole. When it is over your head, it's day. When it's not, it's night. The sun acts like a spotlight and shines downward as it moves. The apparent effect of the sun rising and setting is usually explained as a perspective effect. Explanation of the seasons in Flat Earth theory. The Flat Earth movement also has an answer for the seasons. The radius of the sun's orbit around the Earth's axis symmetry varies throughout the year, being smallest when summer is in the northern annulus and largest when it is summer in the southern annulus. The website reads, "Everything you think you know about the world is wrong and you should blame it on a global conspiracy involving NASA, governments and scientists. We hope to expose the fact that our planet is not a sphere. The so-called round Earth conspiracy is something we have been tricked into believing since an early age through schooling and pop culture. The logo for Universal Pictures is heavily used as an example of this apparent conditioning. Our planet exists on a giant, flat plane, with Antarctica forming a large ice wall around the circumference. The best representation of the flat Earth places the North Pole in the center map, which is eerily similar to the UN logo."
Modern flat Earth societies are present-day organizations that propagate the idea that the Earth is flat instead of an oblate spheroid. This is usually regarded by mainstream media either as mockery of the original belief or as a form of denialism. The idea that the Earth was flat was typical of ancient European cosmologies until about the 4th century BC, when ancient Greek philosophers proposed that the Earth was a sphere or rounded. Among them, Aristotle proposed a spherical Earth. In 330 BC, by the early Middle Ages, it was widespread knowledge throughout Europe that the Earth was a sphere. Modern pseudoscientific flat Earth hypotheses originated with the English writer Samuel Rowbotham. Based on his conclusions derived from the Bedford Level experiment, Rowbotham published a 16-page pamphlet, Zetetic Astronomy, which he later expanded into a 430-page book, Earth Not a Globe, in which the Earth is a flat disk centered at the North Pole and bounded along its southern edge by a wall of ice, with the Sun and Moon 3,000 miles and the cosmos 3,100 miles above Earth. He also published a leaflet entitled The Inconsistency of Modern Astronomy and Its Opposition to the Scriptures, which argued that the Bible, alongside our senses, supported the idea that the Earth was flat and immovable, and this essential truth should not be set aside for a system based solely on human conjecture. Rowbotham and followers, like William Carpenter, who continued the belief, gained attention by successful use of pseudoscience in public debates with leading scientists of the day. One such debate, involving Alfred Russel Wallace, concerned the Bedford Level experiment. Rowbotham created a Zetetic Society in England and New York, shipping over 1,000 copies of Zetetic Astronomy.